In a small village nestled between the mountains and the sea, lived a young woman who was known for her boundless energy and ambition. She was in her late 20s, always on the move, constantly juggling tasks and responsibilities. From sunrise to sunset, her days were filled with work, helping others, and pursuing her dreams. But as time went on, she began to feel a deep, growing exhaustion. Despite her achievements, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. One day, as she was hurrying through the village square, an old traveler stopped her. He was a man of few words, his face weathered by years on the road. Seeing the fatigue in her eyes, he handed her a small, smooth stone and said, "When the sun rises tomorrow, walk to the top of the mountain and throw this stone into the sea. You will find what you seek." Perplexed but intrigued, she decided to follow his advice. The next morning, she rose before dawn and began her journey up the mountain. The path was steep and rugged, and with each step, the weight of her burdens seemed to grow heavier. By the time she reached the summit, she was exhausted, her mind swirling with thoughts of everything she had left undone. Standing at the edge of the mountain, she looked out over the vast expanse of the sea. The sight was breathtaking, the sun casting a golden light over the water. For a moment, she forgot all her worries, lost in the beauty of the scene. Then, remembering the traveler's words, she took out the stone. But as she prepared to throw it, she hesitated. The stone, so small and insignificant, suddenly felt heavy in her hand, as if it held all the weight of her life's pressures. She realized that the stone was a symbol of her constant need to do more, to achieve more, without ever taking time for herself. With a deep breath, she hurled the stone into the sea. As it disappeared beneath the waves, she felt an unexpected sense of relief. It was as if she had let go of all the stress, the endless to-do lists, and the overwhelming need to be everything to everyone. She sat down on the mountainside, watching the sun rise higher in the sky. For the first time in a long while, she allowed herself to just be. In that quiet moment, she realized that her true journey wasn't about doing more, it was about finding balance. She understood that life wasn't meant to be a race, constantly pushing forward without rest. There was a natural rhythm to everything, a time for action and a time for stillness, a time for giving and a time for receiving. As she made her way back down the mountain, she felt a renewed sense of peace. She knew that she needed to bring more balance into her life, to make time for herself and to appreciate the quiet moments as much as the busy ones. Returning to the village, she embraced a new way of living. She still worked hard and pursued her goals, but she also made space for rest, reflection, and connection with others. She learned to listen to her body and mind, to know when to push forward and when to step back. In the end, the young woman discovered that true fulfillment didn't come from endless striving, but from finding harmony between her ambitions and her well-being. By learning to balance her life, she became not only more effective in her pursuits, but also more content in her heart. And so, her journey continued, not in a frantic rush, but with a steady, mindful pace, embracing the flow of life and the balance it offered.